It's the Daily Doug.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for being with me today. Okay, my friends, on the program today we're going back to music from Genesis, and it's been a little bit of time on the channel since I've done some Genesis, but I've been doing some Genesis lately over on our Patreon, and my brain has been on their music a little bit, and I wanted to get back to a little bit of repertoire from Genesis. So I've listened to quite a bit of their music, especially from their 70s progressive rock era here on the channel. I've listened to all of Nursery Crime, Selling England by the Pound, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, and just recently Wind and Wuthering. We listened to the whole album over on Patreon. And so while I'm on this little bit of a Genesis kick, I went back to our master list of submissions that have come in for the channel looking for more from Genesis, and there's a suggestion for Mama. And that's what we're doing today, y'all. I decided to do that one. I am vaguely familiar with this one. I remember the maniacal laugh, the ha ha ha. That's the main thing that I remember from it. And I remember several months ago we heard a cover song of this with some of our patrons on a Zoom hangout, but I've never really given it the treatment here on YouTube. I've never really looked into the words to see what the backstory is and all of that. So that's what we're up to today, and I'm happy that you're along for the ride. So Mama is from their self-titled album that was released in the fall of 1983. This is an album that I haven't heard much from yet. Only Home by the Sea and Second Home by the Sea have I heard on the channel previously, and I remember that combination of two songs quite well, and I remember liking it quite a lot. So Mama is the lead track and the lead single from this album, and all these years later it's still their highest charting single in the United Kingdom. How about that? So according to Phil, Mama is about a teenager who has developed a mother fixation with a prostitute. And this is a person that he just happened to have met in passing, yet he has developed some intense feelings towards her and for her, and he just doesn't understand why she is not interested in him. And so that's the background of the song. The original drum sound was made as part of some experimentation from Mike Rutherford as he was making use of a Linn LM1 drum machine. And now that I've decided to take a closer look at this particular song, the next dilemma that I needed to figure out was, which version do I listen to? There's several versions of this song. And, you know, I thought about just making use of the original audio, especially to hear that original drum sound, but I have been told that there are some very good live versions of this song on YouTube, and one of our friends sent in this live performance that is from the culmination of their Invisible Touch tour in July of 1987, where they were holding court at Wembley Stadium in London. So I've got to see what the Wembley Stadium looks like and what the song sounded like as they did it. I think this is the very first song of the concert as they come out, which is pretty cool. So we got Phil Collins on the lead vocals. Tony Banks is on the keyboards. Mike Rutherford here is on the lead guitar. They've got Daryl Sturmer with them on this song playing bass, and Chester Thompson is laying down the drums. I'm excited to see this collection of musicians play and hear what they have to offer here. So let's get to it, y'all. Here is Mama live at Wembley Stadium from Genesis. Off we go. Okay, so they're going to helicopter in. This crowd. Boom, boom. I love how they're kind of loose there. To the stage, gentlemen. And there they are. Is this the old Wembley? I think that there's a new Wembley Stadium. Don't know much about it, other than what I've seen here on the channel previously. This is a long intro. This must be the very opening, it looked like it from the DVD listing for this tour, the very first song as they come out. And I guess that's the drum track that Mike was working with. Look at the crowd. There's Tony, there's Mike, there's Phil, taking a picture. I would. So we're laying down an E natural. Yeah, that's May Ray, the G to F sharp. That's not. Right. Over that E, it's May Ray. Right. All right. Back when Phil still had a little bit of hair up there. So they moved to a suspended chord still over that E.
In the heat and the steam of the city, eyes got me running and I just can't wait. So say you help me, mama.
So Mama in this
Just getting so hard.
in this instance. That I remember.
Now
It turned major for a split second and then back to minor.
but I know you're always there.
Down the step, bum, bum.
You listen, you teach, you mama, and I know inside you care. So get down here.
You're just waiting for it to drop, right? It's like it's prepared. The whole thing is preparing for something.
No, I won't hurt you,
Flat
mama,
six.
but you know that it's getting so hard.
A to a G sharp over that. There's the maniacal laugh. I can do it too. That is funky. And listen to that little. Cool. And it still sounds like it's just waiting to just. Major 4 chord. No.
But can't you see
Back to
me, mama, mama, mama?
Flat 6, flat 7. Suspended. Minor.
Can't you feel my heart?
It still sounds like it's waiting to drop. Like the whole thing is a prelude.
Can't you feel my heart?
Minor 4.
Now listen to me, mama, mama, mama. You're taking away my last chance.
You're taking away my last chance. Don't take it away.
Could you feel my heart?
Feel my heart. This is so interesting.
It's hot, it's too hot for me, mama.
hot for me, Mama, but I can hardly wait. My eyes, they're burning, and I can feel my body shake. He is so obsessed with her, but she will not give him the time of day.
Don't stop, please, mama. I wanna make it bad. Just make it go away. 'Cause I want her to mama.
That big C power chord lands so big, and then A to G sharp vocally. No cymbals, by the way. Real earthy percussion. And Phil is a great vocalist, isn't he? Wonderful vocalist. Epic band, right? And that's how you end a song live. That's the first song of the concert. I want to watch the rest of the concert now. Man, those guys are good. It's a deceptive tune. It's a deceptive tune, isn't it? The whole time that they've got that E in the pedal, it feels like there's something coming, there's something coming, there's something coming. And still when it drops, it never really just drops and goes. It's still just kind of pent up and angst-ridden. And our character in the song doesn't ever get any relief, doesn't, break through and get the mama to pay him some attention, right? So the rest of this, it makes sense that there's all of this energy pent up and it's waiting for somewhere to go, and it just never gets anywhere to go, right? It just sits there. And the turning that E major is really cool. I can't tell if it's just the one chord that they're just turning major, or if the whole thing is designed to be like a dominant, like an extended dominant, and they actually want to go to A, and that G sharp becomes the leading tone. However they want to do it, it's unfinished. There's no resolution to the angst that and the feelings that are palpable and powerful that he's singing about. Really great song, isn't it? And I think it works quite well for an opening song of a concert. It's not too fast, it's not too slow, it's got some big time sounds, and the guys can just kind of get the feel of the crowd. The crowd can just kind of warm up with the band and be ready for an evening of great continued music. I love that, friends. That was really, really wonderful. So it's interesting to hear music from this era of the band, isn't it? Because back in the day, they've got Peter Gabriel on vocals and Phil's behind the kit, right? And Phil, of course, is a world-class drummer, but he's also a world-class vocalist. And Chester's great behind there, right? They also had Steve Hackett, who I've talked to, I've seen in concert, and I love his music. And he's a great guitar player. When Steve was in the band, Mike was mainly on bass, right? But now, with Steve not in the band anymore, Mike is doing both bass duty and guitar duty, and Daryl, who is with them on stage, I believe goes back and forth and plays bass when Mike's playing guitar, and vice versa. And it makes for a really great era of this band. I like this era just fine, friends. I really love the progressive era from the 70s of this band. but I also love this one, and it's fascinating. You know, remember, this is a self-titled album that this is from 1983, but it's their 12th album. And most self-titled albums are debut recordings from a band, you know, as they are introducing themselves to the musical world. But here, it's their 12th album. It's self-titled. I get a sense that they might be reintroducing themselves to the musical worlds as sort of the lords of pop rock now, instead of the lords of progressive rock or art rock, you know. And at almost 7 minutes, Mama is the longest song on this album. That's a big departure from some of their albums of the past, with their long classics, such as Supper's Ready, The Musical Box, One for the Vine, Cinema Show, Battle of Epping Forest, Firth the Fifth, that sort of stuff. Those big songs, those big narrative songs. And now they're just making them a little more radio friendly. And I think as a result, that's why this has become their, or did become their greatest commercial success to date. And it also was their third straight album to reach #1 on the UK albums charts. So as they were moving out of that 70s style into this more 80s radio-friendly pop style, they definitely, you know, were gaining fans and were at the height of their powers there. Especially, there were, I don't know how many people were at that Wembley concert, but it looked like a ton of folks. That would be a fun live DVD to watch. I'm thinking about sometime soon, especially on my Patreon, doing we do these extended play lounge listens where we listen to an entire album. I'm thinking of doing a live album. Which one to do? You know, there's a lot of great live albums out there. And so I think we'll get to some of those here this summer. That'll be fun to let down our guard a little bit and go to a live album. That will be great. I'm glad that I did a live version of this. I remember the sound of that a little bit more than I thought I would. Of course, I think I've heard it throughout the years, but again, I've never really given it that sense of what's it all about. And now we know, and that's a good thing. So we have been listening to Mama from Genesis, a live recording of them doing it at Wembley Stadium back in the late 80s. And what a treat to go back and listen to some more music from Genesis. I believe that is all for me today, my friends. I thank you very much, and we will see you next time on another edition of The Daily Doug.